Okay, so in the previous video, we have discussed what a supervised learning is. So in the supervised learning, our aim is to learn a mapping from the input to the label. Okay, so in the unsupervised learning, there is no supervisor and we only have the input data. So as you might guess, the training data is unlabeled. So the system tries to learn without a teacher or a supervisor. So we are only given the data and our task is to find interesting na patterns in that data. So as you can see, there is no Y or there are no labels. Okay, so let's have an example. As we can see, the chest x-rays are unlabeled. So the machine learning model will figure out the patterns and group the chest x-rays into different clusters or groups. So for instance, the machine learning model has figured out that this cluster 1 are images with COVID-19 and they have like relatively similar features. So it might not be obvious for us, but it might have been discovered by your machine learning model. And similarly, your machine learning model has grouped these images of having no COVID-19 because they have relatively similar features. Okay, so another example. Say you have a lot of data about your blogs na visitors, so you may want to run a clustering algorithm to try to detect groups of similar visitors. So at no point do you tell the algorithm which group a visitor belongs to. So if those connections it finds so connections without your help. So for example, it might notice that 40% of your visitors are males who love comic books and generally read your blog in the evening, while 20% are young sci-fi lovers who visit during the weekends, and so on. So if you use a hierarchical clustering, for example, it might further subdivide each group into smaller groups. For example, you have identified this group or cluster, and if you want your groupings to be more defined, so you can run another clustering in this subgroup, right? So this will help you target your posts for each group. So here are some unsupervised learning algorithms that we will learn. So we have the clustering and visualization and dimensionality reduction.